Here we're going to tie a fly called the Bucktail Baitfish. First thing I'm going to do is just start some thread. Notice I leave about a hook eye distance away from the hook eye. Then we're going to take our thread back almost all the way to the bend. I'm going to stop just short of the bend. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some bucktail. I'm going to take a clump that's about half of the diameter of a pencil or so. I'm going to strip out all the under feathers. What you can do is kind of realign some of these feathers as well. So as I pull some of them out, I'll realign a few of them. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Now we're going to tie in a tail here that's about, I'd say 1.5 to 2 times the length of the shank of the hook. I'm just going to hold the bucktail into place, do a nice loose wrap, and then tighten down nice and tight. And I'm going to take my thread forward. I'm not going to go all the way forward. I'm going to stop a little ways from the eye. Then I'm going to repeat that same process. Clip out about the same amount. Realign some of those fibers. Then I'm going to tie in the chunk, and I'm going to have it be about the same length as the tail. Nice loose wrap, and then bite down. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in some Flashabou, some pearl Flashabou. It'll take about 5 or 6 strands or so. You can tie it as flashy as you want. It's really just preference. We're going to tie the middle of this clump in on one side. And then I'll bring it around to the other. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in the back of the fly, and for that we're going to use some blue bucktail. You can use some other colors. You can use olive, you can use chartreuse. It can be tied in a lot of different variations. We're going to tie a back on this fly. It's going to be longer than the white section that we tied in. I want to stick past all those white pieces of bucktail. And we can trim that flash. I want that flash to hang past that white and be about the length of the blue. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a fish skull. We're just going to make sure it'll fit. Looks like we should be good. I just need to build up a little bit of thread up here for that fish skull to sit on. Give it something to glue to. Almost have enough. Once you think you've got enough, you can just take your whip finish, whip finish it. Then we're going to take our brush on ZAP A GAP here. I'm going to apply a generous amount of glue here to the head all the way around. And I'll take my fish skull, and I want to make sure that the belly of the fish skull faces downwards. I'm going to push that fish skull into place. The whole thing just slid forward. There we go. Let that glue dry on there. We're going to take a little bit of thread right up by the front of this fly. Lay down a couple of wraps. That'll keep the fly from sliding forward. Just really pinch it down there, make sure it's going to stay in place. Now what we can do is glue the eyes. I'm just going to take a little dab of super glue, put it in the eye well, peel off one of the eyes. And all I do is just slide it into place. Just like so. Then I'll do the same thing on the other side here. I like to use this brush on super glue. I just have more control with it. There we go. And then last thing, you can add a dab of super glue to the front as well, just to make sure that won't come undone. You have a finished bucktail baitfish. Pretty easy fly to tie. You can crank a lot of them out. You can tie them in a lot of different colors. And this fly, it may not look like much when it's dry here, but when this gets wet, this lays back nice, gets semi-translucent, and really looks good in the water. And you can find all the materials along with the recipe information for this fly at intheriffle.com.